Judica County is brought to you by Whitaker and Hamer, attorneys and counselors at law, your law firm for life.
Welcome back into Judica County Radio. Josh Whitaker and Joe Hamer, managing partners, Whitaker and Hamer Law Firm, are your hosts. And again, they're practicing attorneys here in North Carolina. Whitaker and Hamer, your law firm for life. Offices located almost everywhere. Raleigh, Garner, Clayton, Goldsboro, Fuquay-Varina, Gastonia, and in Morehead City. I'm Morgan Patrick, consumer advocate. If you're facing a legal situation, you've got questions, you can always call Whitaker and Hamer, 800-659-1186. That's 800-659-1186. Leave the contact information, briefly what the call is about, and an attorney with Whitaker and Hamer will be in touch. And you can email your questions to the show, info@judicacounty.com. We'll answer them on a future broadcast. So we're top 10 mistakes people starting a business are making. First one, not organizing right away. And then 2, using a non-business lawyer. So now we are on to number 3.
Before we get to 3, Morgan, we had mentioned Star Trek. We had mentioned Captain Picard.
Yes.
And
Jean-Luc Picard.
And I was trying to give a quote that I'd always seen, and I messed it up really bad.
Well, you got halfway through it, right? You got half.
No one's going to know because no one watches Star Trek.
Well, I'm about to give it to you because it's much better. It's much more eloquent. And I'm going to go home and Google this episode.
Go home and watch
You
Star
need to
Trek,
study
all of it,
Star
and come
Trek.
back and report to us.
You're so biased towards Star Wars.
I had this friend growing up, and he was, he liked Star Wars, and his grandma, he asked for Star Wars for Christmas.
God rest her soul.
And yes, I'm sure she's not with us anymore. She was a delightful lady, and she did her best. This was back before you could just go type it in the internet, have it show up at your house. So she went to the store, and she got him Star Trek. Star Wars.
And then you stopped being his friend.
No, I was still his friend.
But you said I had this friend, so I figured that was a falling out for you two.
But you think Star Trek figures? What do you do with? I mean,
yeah,
there's not very.
Yeah. Did they have Star Trek figures?
Yeah.
Oh,
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Interesting. We had ornaments. That's what I remember. My mom had ornaments. You know, the ones you'd plug into where the lights go and they make noises.
Star Trek?
Yeah. I think she thought they were Star Wars too. I do. Yeah.
You're talking about
Maybe
night
you're my
lights? Is
friend.
that what you're
Maybe
talking
that's
about?
But it's not like she was a terrible mother that bought
No.
actual toys, of Star Trek. Come on. She's not a monster. She loved me.
Here's the quote. I think about this quote a lot. It's one of those things that just sits in the back of my head and it'll come out. So here's the quote. It is possible to commit no errors and still lose. That is not a weakness. That is life.
That's very true, man. I've been a part of some sporting teams that have committed no errors and still gotten destroyed by superior competition.
But I always like that. I feel like I'm going to tell that to my kids one day at a very important time, and they'll just come to me and I'll remember it. Not like the radio where I just forget it and bubble through it.
You got some time to work on it. So whenever it's time to lay it out for them, you'll nail it instead of blowing it like you did just now.
I'll get some practice in.
I can see some Star Trek fan at home listening and just, that's not the quote.
You're blowing it, man. All right, I got to look at my list here. I got to get what our next one is here. I don't like that one. I'm going to skip it.
So we have the top 9.
Yeah. The top edited.
I'll come back to it if we run out of time.
Yeah.
All right. This one. Okay. So this one's kind of interesting. So this one's saying not having a standard contract. All right. So what I think they mean is whatever your business is going to be, if it's selling something, hiring salesmen, leasing property, buying property, it's not having a standard contract for whatever it is that you're going to be doing in business. And I talked to someone just today, and that's what we're doing for them. What
if we just change that? Because I don't like the way it's worded, right? Mm-hmm. What if we just say not having a contract? You like that better? No? Yes? Maybe?
Yeah, I guess.
Because standard contract implies, to me, it reads as like boilerplate, one size fits all, and I don't like that.
Well, I think it does, but like, what if you sell? In law school, everybody sells widgets, right? From the Jetsons, that's the standard.
The widget store.
Yeah, so you're selling widgets, but it depends on what kind of widget you're selling. Is it a specific, highly specialized widget, or is it like the same? You're going to sell the same widget to 15 million people. So boilerplate might work.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying boilerplate can't work.
Yeah,
but I'm saying there are situations where boilerplate shall not work, and when you need some more specificity, you like that one.
You did a very good job with that.
Thank you so much. generally speaking, though, you should have a contract for your services.
Yeah, for the same reason that you want an agreement between you and your other shareholders or you and your other members, the same reason you want to document everything and put it on paper. It's the same reason you want to do it with a customer or with someone who's going to be using your business. You don't want there to be any confusion. We read these all the time. Clients will get these contracts where they're providing services or materials or something else to an out-of-state LLC, right? And so they get these contracts that are all one-sided, and like it'll reserve that, it'll make you go to arbitration, or it'll say you have to litigate this in Wisconsin, just have some made up. And so you want to prevent that. You want to prevent opening yourself up to liability you don't want to have. And so if you're in North Carolina and you're providing services predominantly in North Carolina, you're going to want to make sure if something goes wrong, you're litigating this in North Carolina, and you're not litigating this in New York or California or some state where you're going to have to go hire an attorney to represent you. So agreements are made according to certain state laws. Maybe some federal law gets in there, but you want a standard contract. You want to know what your risks are if something goes wrong with that transaction. You can cap your liability. You can get rid of certain warranties. There's a lot of stuff you can do with your own contract depending on what kind of business you're in.
Yes, that is correct. You killed that one, man. Knocked it out of the park.
And again, all this entails some sort of legal fees. You're not going to spend your whole budget on legal fees, but once if you believe in your idea and you want to take your best step forward, you just got to have everything right.
You know what else costs money? Getting sued, or not having a contract.
Hey, look, man, I'm saying man a lot today. I don't know why. Like we're out on.
I like it. I think it's your new thing, and I'm digging it.
Yeah, I'm going to skip ahead because one of these is, this is number 7.
This is our top 6 things.
I'm skipping ahead.
Yeah.
Number 7 says only getting legal or professional services in emergency situations.
Hey, that's similar to what I just said, right?
It is.
Jeez, man. Is this list in my head?
Don't wait.
Don't procrastinate.
Come to us if you need us. But in a perfect world, you're not coming to us with a superior court lawsuit in hand.
And honestly, coming to us is what is going to prevent you from having a superior court lawsuit in your hand. Because we're going to tell you about those pitfalls.
Don't come to me. Come to me if you need.
Yeah, don't come to me.
Don't hire me.
Never come to our office ever, please.
Come to us if you need us. But
whatever you do.
But in a perfect world, you won't have just been served with a lawsuit for however many tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars.
$1 billion.
Yeah. So come to us when the problem first starts. Come to us before the problem starts. That way you're on good solid legal footing.
Yep.
I always tell everybody, anybody can sue anybody for any reason on any day. There's nothing stopping. I could make up something and sue Joseph.
I'll sue you. I was first. I'm suing you first.
Yeah.
I'm suing you for that shirt.
And you still have to defend it. They may be able to get sanctioned. You might be able to get damages, but there's nothing stopping anyone from suing anybody, at any time. And so you got to have all your ducks in a row. You got to have everything up. And going to get legal services only in emergency situations is not a good practice.
That is very much having your ducks not in a row. You have unaligned ducks in that situation.
And me and Joseph, we are not CPAs, but that includes, there's a lot of tax surprises. If you've been a W-2 employee your whole life and you step into the self-employed business world, there's a lot of tax surprises that you need to be ready for. There's a lot of deductions you might be able to take if you plan ahead.
Not if you have your ducks in a row, though.
If
you'll
you
be
have
good. If you have your ducks in a row, you're going to be just fine.
But I like that one because I see that one a lot. People will be like, "Hey, this is what happened," and we're not going to. If that happens, we're not going to judge you. We're going to help you.
Yeah, come to us with your problem. That's And look, even with every duck in their row, things still can happen. But I think you would see a drastic reduction of unrowed ducks if you've got your stuff together. And if you do the work on the front end, man, the work on the front end, especially when it comes to having a good contract, as between you and your partners, as between you and the general public, dictating your services, it's all about protecting yourself every way that you can. And if you do all that, you're going to be all right. Even if you do get that $1 billion lawsuit, you're going to be all right.
Well, and that's how we talk about this a lot. That's how me and Joe set up the firm. And each week we come to you And we try to talk about different things that you might need. Like today, we're focusing kind of on business startups. That's kind of where our focus is today. But we'll talk about estate planning. We'll talk about litigation. We'll talk about family law with several different attorneys with several different practice areas, so that we can help you with a lot of different areas. And so this is it's just one of those things. We can help you get set up. We can help you with business law if something happens and you are sued. Our litigation folks can step in and help there too. So we try to help you with everything that we can. But
I think the vision was always to just be a law firm for the community, right? You go down the street to us and we can do virtually anything that you need. Not every single thing.
Not everything.
But virtually everything.
So that's one. Legal services, you need it up front. And I talk with a lot of people every day who are taking those steps, who are putting a lot of money into a project and may need to make sure everybody's protected. And we do it all the time. It's a good policy.
Judica County Radio, Josh Whitaker and Joe Hamer. They're the managing partners at Whitaker and Hamer Law Firm, practicing attorneys here in North Carolina. Again, Whitaker and Hamer, your law firm for life. Offices located Raleigh, Garner, Clayton, Goldsboro, Fuquay, Varina, Gastonia, and in Morehead City. If you've got a legal situation and you've got questions, you can always call the firm for help. 800-659-1186. That's 800-659-1186. And leave your contact info, briefly what the call's about, and an attorney will return your call. And also, you can email your questions to the show, info@judicacounty.com. We'll answer them on a future broadcast. So we have legal mistakes that people are making. It was a top 10, and we are doing some editing. We're having some fun with it, and we're getting to the fellas' top mistakes that are being made by people that are starting businesses. We've got a few more to go on the other side, so we will take a break.